Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. It's Dr. Lori, the PhD Antiques Appraiser, the expert in the field who's going to teach you about art, antiques, and collectibles. Tonight, live, it's Dr. Lori's treasure hunt game. You're going to play along. We're going to play along, and we're going to start right here with this piece. That's right here with this particular bird. It, of course, is a carving. You know how you play Dr. Lori's treasure hunt game. So I'm going to have you ask some questions about the object. You're going to look at the object. You're going to ask me the questions you want to know about the object. And then I'm going to have you try to guess the value. And I'm going to appraise it for you, right? So Dr. Lori's treasure hunt game is very, very popular, has been for years. I'm going to play with you so you can play along here Thursdays at 7, of course. And also, this is the live if you're watching the replay, but I want you to stay with me live so you learn about Dr. Lori's treasure hunt game. So questions that you might have about this particular piece. It's nice, has some weight. I'm going to get my hands out of the way. I'm going to have you take a good long look. Right, you can see the carving. Right, nice piece. Perfect for Dr. Lori's treasure hunt game. Have you shared? Have you shared the channel? Have you been working with the community tab? Right, I want you to share the channel. Please remember to subscribe. Subscribing helps everybody. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribing on YouTube. And we play this game every week. We actually play a couple times a week. Tuesdays when I'm on television all over the country, different, of course, networks. We also play Dr. Lori's treasure hunt. Okay, Mary wants to know what's it made of. So what type of material is this particular piece? This particular piece is, of course, a carved stone. It's a direct carving. It is not brass. It's not brass, it's stone. I want you to make sure that you can see it. You can see that it's stone, right? And it is directly carved. So it's stone directly carved, right? There you go. It's a nice green colored stone, right? Okay, let's see. Good questions, good questions. What other questions do you have? Materials is always going to be important. So materials are always going to be important. Do you want to know whether or not there's something else to see on it? Right? What type of bird is it? Oh, that's very good. That's a very good question. So this particular bird would be a bird that you would see in alpine regions or cold areas of the world. Okay? Alpine regions or cold areas of the world. Right? Usually a feeder bird. Any markings on it? Good question. So let's take a look at the markings. There is a marking. There's a label actually on the bottom. I want to make sure we have it right. There's a label on the bottom. Right? And that label actually is going to tell you, it says Eskimo art, Canada. That tells you a little bit about the piece. So if you saw this piece in a thrift store, would you know what questions to ask? How good a shopper are you? How good a thrifter are you? How good an antique picker are you? How good are you at identifying what's valuable? So what do you know what to ask for? I'm going to teach you what to ask. So you asked about materials. You asked if there was a mark. What did the mark tell you? What did the mark tell you? These are some of the things that you've got to be able to know. Yes, it's very heavy. It's stone. It's like picking up a rock. Stone. A rock. How old do I think it is? How old do you think it is? I know that it's from the 20th century. And the label should help you with that too. When you see a label like that, any label, you should say, oh, okay, labels are usually used middle part to the end of the 20th century, right? There's the label one more time, so you can't go, Dr. Lori, we couldn't see the label. We don't know. Come on. Canada, Eskimo art. So they're telling you something about who made it. Why? Because it was very important that actually you knew that this was made by indigenous people. Okay, Rosemary's thinking. Rosemary's like, it's from the 1950s. Is it from the 1950s? It dates later than the 1950s. The tag looks like it's from the 1950s. The tag is actually a little bit younger than the 1950s. So we're going to go a little bit younger than the 1950s, 60s, 70s, that neck of the woods. Okay, is it Inuit? Yes. Now, remember, it is Inuit. What are the characteristics of Inuit sculpture? You're thinking, I don't know, Dr. Lori. Well, that's why you have Dr. Lori, the PhD Antiques Appraiser, the expert who could actually teach you some stuff. Inuit pieces and carvings are usually very straightforward, sort of like form line art of the Northwest coastal Native Americans, right? Form line art, very straightforward with outlines. So this particular piece here Also has that very straightforward kind of composition. You can see one line that continues that makes the wing, a couple of lines that make the beak and the face and the head. I always want to tell you with these types of pieces, other questions, I'm still waiting for your questions. What else do you want to know? Other things that I want you to think about is I want you to think about looking at the piece in 3 dimensions. I wrote a lot of books on sculpture, and I always would say when I was writing my books, remember to turn the piece. The idea of a sculpture is that you look at it from all different angles. So I want you to think about that. That's going to help you identify quality. A sculptor who just doesn't bother with anything on the back, this sculptor, of course, did, he bothered, isn't somebody who's really looking to produce great high quality. It's a primary carving, not complex. Well, primary carving, not complex. It's called a direct carving. Direct carvings are basically directly from the actual stone, trying to reveal the object from the stone, right? So it's not complex. It is complex. It's not detailed. So remember the terminology, but very good. You're on the right track. You're on the right track. Tanya, are there any damages? Yes. So look for damage. Think about damage. Is the beak cut off? Is there an inclusion? Is there an abrasion? Abrasion, big scratch, right? Those kinds of things are going to impact the value too, right? So this is our first piece in Dr. Lori's Treasure Hunt game for tonight. What do you think? Don't forget, you can learn a lot about sculpture if you go on the YouTube channel. Go to the binge link and use the binge link. Where's the binge link? It's in the description. It's very easy. You can binge all of the videos about all of the different topics. You know, a lot of you will put in the comments, Dr. Lori, do you have a video about this? Dr. Lori, do you have a video about that? Yes, I do. I have a video about everything. Use the binge link. And I'm telling you information that you can use from that binge link. It's right in the description of the channel. Very easy on YouTube. So I'm sure you're going to find it. And don't forget about the community tab. I gave a special in the community tab. Did you see it? Did you check the community tab the last time you were looking at the channel? I want you to make sure that you remember to go to the community tab because I gave a special on one of the services. And where did I announce it? In the community tab. So you don't want to miss it. Every time that you are there, I want you to check that community tab. It gives you special information that you won't get anywhere else. So the community tab, don't forget. Don't forget. Other questions? Other questions? Okay, it's time to guess the value. What do you think it's worth? The Inuit, Canadian-made, Eskimo art, direct carving, stone, bird sculpture. What do you think? We know it's mid-century modern, after 1955, circa 1960. Okay, Cindy says 225 bucks. Bama fan 2 says, I don't know, 80. Marlene says 500. Nona says 150. LJ 600. Texas Cherry Picker 125. Marcy Carsey says, Rosa says 170. Come on, let's see them. Let's see them. What do you think? What do you think? You know, and why did you do that? I want you to also think about why are you thinking these numbers? Sunny thinks 60 bucks. Sunny's way too low. Oh, Dr. Lori, allow us to see the entire tail sweep. Your left hand's covering that. Well, Ellen, I am sorry, Ellen. Here we go. Can you see it? Yes? Ellen, where's Ellen? She back? Can she see it? Did she miss it? See the whole thing? In Tall Pine says 750. Did Ellen see this? Coloring with D, 65. Where's Ellen? Candy, 325. I'm waiting for Ellen to type. Are you typing, Ellen? Can you see it? Can you see the sweep? Candy says 325. Oh, Diane, 325. Christelle, 110. You're welcome, Ellen. You're welcome, Ellen. Thank you for typing back to me. I thought I lost you. Okay, there you go. And here's the side for those of you who like to look at the face. You want to look at the kisser. You know, I want to look at the kisser. Canadian here, 850. Okay, so Canadians are saying higher. Donnie says 650. I think some of you are high. Riri, is it Riri or Rai Rai? I guess it's Riri. 115. All right. Super sticker. Thank you so much. What does a super sticker does? It helps everybody who's watching the channel, right? Helps me, helps support the channel, helps me to make new videos, and I thank you very much. It helps me to help you, so thank you for remembering super stickers and super chats. I appreciate it. I want to give you the information that you can use so you can make more money. Many of you have been making money and telling me that and said, Dr. Lori, I want to thank you. And you're doing it with super chats and super stickers. I'm happy that you're doing well and happy that the channel is helping all of you. Barbara says 130. Nicole says 225. Is there a signature? No, Mary, there's no signature. Now what do you do? It's not marked. Just because it's marked doesn't mean it's not valuable. A lot of pieces are not marked. And a lot of pieces that aren't marked are valuable. Don't get hooked up with the people who don't know what they're doing, who are dealing with marks. Bobby, thank you very much for your super sticker. I appreciate that very much. I love you too. I was teaching a little 2-year-old how to do the heart thing. So that's my heart back to Bobby. All right. So do you like it? What do you think? Are you finished guessing? 300 for Bobby. Bobby thinks it's 300. I love this game. The Bama fan loves this game, right? Well, you like games. You're out there and of course, the world of Alabama, I bet. Donna, 175. Chef Talion and Friends, $1,500. Wow, that's high. No markings mean it's older, right? No. No markings don't mean it's older. What channel are you watching where you got that information? That's totally wrong. No, just if it's older, that doesn't mean it's old. If it's unmarked, that doesn't mean it's older. Don't get that in your head. You're going to get all mixed up on that. No. Judy says 200, but I'm glad you asked me. It's better that you ask me. I'll tell you. Judy says 200. Kathy Pham Journey says 75. What are the eyes made of? The eyes are just carved out. Can you see the eyes? Let me get out of the way. Can you see the eyes? Yeah, Donnie, good question. The eyes are not made of anything, not inset. There's no kind of, there's not a stone in there. They're just carved out, just circles. Direct carving. Nice. Canadian Eskimo art, marked as such, 1960. You want to know what it's worth? It's worth $300. It's a very nice piece. My values are always based on actual sales records where pieces have sold, right? And recent, where pieces have sold. Remember, if anybody's telling you, oh, I saw it selling for this, oh, I saw it selling for that, that's not an appraised value. An expert analyzes the market, that's me, and also tells you the appraised value based on a retail sales record where something sold. So thanks for playing that one. That was a great one. Don't forget about our community tab, and don't forget that I'm the expert antiques appraiser who's going to teach you what to find, how to look for pieces. Of course, I'll take your questions, and I'll not only take them now, but I'll also take them, of course, at Ask Dr. Lori Live, which is Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the channel. So mark your calendars to join me for Ask Dr. Lori Live with your questions. All right, Dr. Lori. Oh, there was something there, but I missed it. Sorry, I got to be quick, be like lightning fast, right? So a good week. Were you out? What's the best way to get a lithograph appraised? You can send a picture to my website. That's the best way to get a lithograph appraised. And I like to see the entire piece. Don't go cropping pictures, photos for me. I want to see the whole thing. If it's in a frame, I want to see the whole frame. If it's not, I want to see all the way to the edge of the paper. I want to see the whole thing. Yep. So that's the easiest way to go to lithograph appraisal. A lot of lithography appraisals I do. And I do them for color lithography, and I do them for different types of lithography, all different types of prints, all different types of pieces. I can appraise anything, right? And I have for years and years, right? I started this in 1998 after a successful career, of course, in university teaching and also in major museums as a director and curator, and then became an appraiser to evaluate pieces for regular people who would find regular objects. So I also, of course, do appraisals for insurance companies and museums and, of course, all of you. But I wanted to teach people what to actually look for, because people are trying to find things, or they're in their basement and they're not sure what to throw at, not sure what to take when grandma says, oh, take something from the attic. I want to make you learn what to do. And I've taught a lot of people, and I've made a lot of people money when they're flipping thrift stores, antique malls, estate sales, and such. What fun, right? So how good a thrifter are you? Do you know what questions to ask, right? Dr. Lori's treasure hunt game is, of course, for all of you who are watching. If you're watching all over, I'm so happy that you're here to play Dr. Lori's treasure hunt with me. Thank you very much for remembering super chats and super stickers so I can answer your questions, and also so you can support the channel. And everybody, I love to see everybody thanking everybody, because when one person does a super chat or a super sticker, it helps me, but it also helps everybody else. So you all have to help, right? You can't just skate on everybody else, right? So here's our next piece. So what have you been doing? Have you been worried about travel? Have you been thinking, oh, I really, really miss my favorite vacation spot? Well, if you notice all the stuff on the table, I've been talking about souvenir shopping and what to pick up when you're at your favorite locale around the world. So a lot of information about travel, souvenir shopping, and I have some upcoming videos that you're going to love all about what should I get when in certain places, how do I negotiate, what should I find, how should I identify a good souvenir from the junk? And I'm going to help you do that too. So that's a lot of fun. That's what some of the pieces you see here are, including pieces like jewelry from places like Murano and Murano glass. So that's a lot of fun. More of Dr. Lori's treasure hunt. I bought a Ralph Lauren hat for $1 and sold it for $210. I love it, Donnie. I love it. Good for you. That's wonderful. You wonder when you do that, do you wonder, gosh, Dr. Lori helped me do that. I know that I'm going to be able to find these pieces. So you're looking for name brands, Tiffany, Ralph Lauren, Prada, a lot of clothing. Clothes is big. Nurse Sherry, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate it. And we all appreciate what you're doing now, as we always did. The medical professionals really need to take our hat off. Maybe our $1 or $210 Ralph Lauren hat off to all of you. So thanks for all of you. Anybody who's doing work that, of course, is over and above during this time, I really appreciate it. So does everybody else. So thank you very much, Sherry. Do you appraise antique mission-style table lamps? Yes, Will. Everything. Is a mission-style table lamp everything? Yes. Then I appraise it. Yes. I know. Do you? Are you an expert? Do you? 3 degrees in the field, many, many years, evaluating 20,000 objects or more a year for more than 25 years. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've been doing this since 1989. I started as an appraiser in 1998. So people are going, oh my gosh, I've been doing this a long, long time. I'm not just somebody who just makes videos. I'm somebody who's been doing this in the field for a long time. Writing books, 30 books to my credit. I'm the expert in the field. I don't like to go on and on about all my expertise, but you really need to know because you need to compare me to others. You helped me start an eBay business buying used jewelry for thrift stores. Thank you so much, darling. Joe Digger, thank you, baby. I love to hear that. I hope your business is successful always. I want you all to succeed, and I want to hear the stories of how you've succeeded. I appreciate Joe bothering to type and tell me that, because how am I going to know that I'm helping him? I know I'm helping a lot of you because a lot of you have told me, Dr. Lori, I'm making thousands a month. Dr. Lori, I started a business. I got rid of a job that I hated. Dr. Lori, I was able to support my family and help contribute to the finances of my home, help my kids. I was helping my kids pay for student loans because they're exorbitant student loans. I was able to get that new car that I really needed by watching your channel, learning what to do, and applying the methods that you're teaching me. That's what I'm here to do. I'm not here to do show and tell. I'm here so you learn, so you get it. I want you to get it. I want you to have fun doing it too. Hi, Mary. Can you appraise prints to satisfy insurance companies to add to homeowners policies? Yes, I do insurance appraisals all the time. Yes, they have to meet a certain standard. So not all appraisals are the same. Insurance appraisals require a different standard. So yes, I do insurance appraisals as well. Yes. Oh, Carly D, thank you so much. I appreciate the super sticker. Thank you so much. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for supporting the channel so we all can, of course, learn more, and specifically you. Lori says, I'm putting my son through graduate school thanks to Dr. Lori. She's learning the information and she's applying it. Now, she's working hard. You're all working hard, but I'm helping you with the tools. I'm helping you with the tools so you don't make a mistake. So you don't do what a lot of these people do. They just walk by something valuable that's on the estate sale table. Oh, no, I didn't look at that piece. It's Meissen from the 19th century. It's worth $5,000. But I walk by that because I don't like cherubs. Who cares if you don't like cherubs? Somebody else who's going to buy it from you likes cherubs. So you've got to know what to actually buy and how to identify those particular objects. Some objects are easier than others, right? So I love to hear about your success stories. I want you to succeed. That's why I'm doing this. I want you to learn it. I want you to get it. I've always been that way. That's why I started the Antiques Appraisal Comedy Tour nationwide for years. Booked all over the country for years and continue to be. People are like, oh, Dr. Lori, we really want to see you in my town. Yes, I have to be invited. And of course, I'm very happy to do that. That's why I started the tour, so people could learn it from an expert. From someone who isn't going to say, it's not worth anything, I'll give you $50. And then they know it's worth something and they buy it from you low and then they sell it for their own gain. I want you to learn it. And that's why I want to see those subscriber numbers. I want them to go up, 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 up. I have one of those old rolling pins. Do you, Sophie? Let's talk about the rolling pin, okay? You have one of these old rolling pins? Can you appraise antique maps? Of course, Heather, and thank you very much for the super chat. Yes, Heather, I can appraise antique maps. There's a lot of things to antique maps, a lot of things you have to look for, and most of it is about paper and process, how it was processed and such. Kim, thank you so much. Kim, of course, sent in some pictures of some of her objects for written appraisals, online appraisal reports, and she's also supporting the channel, and I appreciate that too. Rosemary, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate that, Rosemary. Thank you for supporting the channel. It means a lot, and you're helping everybody, so I hope you'll all thank them as much as I am. Thank you very, very much to your fellow subscribers, and thanks for being subscribers, and thanks for sharing. It's important that you share, because the bigger the channel, of course, gets, more subscribers, the more I can do for all of you. No, so thank you very much for sharing. Don't forget to share. It's easy to share. A lot of you are saying, well, Dr. Lori, you're my best kept secret. If you keep me a secret, then guess what? Nobody benefits. You've got to share. You've got to subscribe. And don't forget the community tab. The community tab is, of course, exactly where I'm going to put up the specials. Just like I did a couple days ago and a week ago, I put a special in the community tab. Did you catch it? You got to check that community tab every time. Heather thinks it's so much fun. I think it's so much fun too. I love you guys. Okay, here we go. So we've got this piece. Is the paint on good shape on the handles? So Tom's daughter has got a very good question. So I'm going to make you assess this. Here's the paint. I'm going to turn it so you can see the paint on the handles. I'm going to do this so you can see the paint on the handles. How does the paint look to you? Does it look good? What do you think? How's it look? There it is. There's a nice shot. So those of you who say, oh, I can't see it, I can't see it. You know, I have a lot of folks who are trying to do this for you. It takes more editing time, which is, of course, more staff time, which is more budget, right? That we have to spend when you go, I can't see it, I can't see it. I want you to see it. I'm trying to do my best, of course. Well, you know, multiple cameras and all of this. So I know it's better than a lot of the channels you're watching. So anyway, my husband now joins in on your videos and you're happy. Oh, that's wonderful, Elaine. That's wonderful that he wants to join in. That's good. That's good. Spend some time together watching me. That's good. I like that. Okay, what other questions have you got about this? The old rolling pin. Do you bake? I don't bake that much. I burn stuff. I burn a lot of stuff. Now, I've had a couple fires, but not too bad. You know, no idea why one end is red and one end is green. Well, you have no idea. This one end was red and one end was green. I don't know. My mother used to always hit us with the red end. I'm kidding. She didn't hit us with a rolling pin. But no. So one end is red and one end is green. One has a little more green. One end has more red. Did the green actually go off? Did it? See, you can see here there's some remnants of the green there. Okay. Kimberly with the super sticker. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that, the super stickers. I hope it's helping. I hope that you're doing that because you're saying, hey, Dr. Lori, help me make some money. I'm going to support the channel that helped. So I hope that's the reason for the super stickers. Mary Cunningham, thank you, Mary. And go blue. I see Mary and I think of Michigan, the University of Michigan. Recently, this channel actually made 100,000 subscribers, which is about as many seats as in the big house, the football stadium at the University of Michigan, where I went to school. Does it still roll? Trina, good question, Trina. Does it still roll? Okay, I'm going to move this. I'm going to do this. Yeah, it's rolling, Trina. It's rolling. It's rolling, baby. Okay, what do you think? What do you think? Other questions. Does it roll? Tell me about the paint. That was conditioned. You're looking at the nice color here. It's a beautiful color of the wood. I want you to look for wood color, okay? Because typically this particular piece, if it was in use, would have accepted oil, butter, and other, of course, other kinds of ingredients that were in whatever was rolled. So that tends to change the color too. This is why a lot of people like the blue-white ceramic rolling pins that look like these little Dutch shoes, for example. It's also why they like rolling pins in different times. Patina actually doesn't have to do with wood, but many people use that word for wood, and that's okay. But patina has to do with what you're talking about is oily buildup, basically a buildup which will change color. Is there a maker's mark? Denise, there is not a maker's mark. And Denise, you spell your name the way one of my college roommates used to spell her name, like D-Nice. So we used to call her D-Nice because it was N-I-C-E. Type of wood and material. Okay, this is maple, right? And I would expect that the rest of this is maple as well, but it's been painted over. But the middle portion is maple. Sometimes it's ash, like what they make with baseball bats. Have you ever been to Louisville? The Louisville Slugger Museum? So sometimes those are ash, those bats. Okay. What else? What other things do you want? You got some good questions. So you know what questions to ask. You know what questions to ask. Are there cracks in the wood? Jay wants to know. No. No cracks. No cracks in the wood. You see any cracks? I don't see any cracks. No. A couple of inclusions That's a fancy museum curator's word, inclusions. Rodrigo, my man. Thank you, Rodrigo, very much for the super sticker. I hope I've made you some money, and I appreciate you, of course, or I hope I've taught you something. I appreciate you supporting the channel. It means a lot. An inclusion, when you close your eyes and you move your hand over something and you feel something that's kind of like an indentation, that's sometimes an inclusion. I'm sorry, I was closing my eyes. I didn't see that one. So an inclusion over here. The colors of the handles tells you what year it was made. Well, yes, I've talked about this, Nicole. I've talked about this a lot. If you look at bright colors in the 20th century, mid-century modern pieces in the 1940s, 50s, even into the 60s are bright colors because we're in a time of prosperity, usually for kitchen collectibles. If you see the same kitchen collectibles in the 1970s, a time when the economy is dipping or going into a recession, right? We're in big, long gas lines waiting for gas, and Jimmy Carter, the president, is saying, wear your cardigan and lower the thermostat. Usually it's muted colors, colors like avocado, mossy green, copper tone, those colors that are muted and not bright. But in times of prosperity, usually what you see are bright colors. So you want to think about that. So it's one of the tips that I've given for years and years to teach people how to identify stuff. Is the red paint an undertone? No. The red paint is not an undertone. There's more green that's left on this side. They both were red and green, both handles. But what happens over time of using something, holding it with your hands actually will help for the pieces to go, to basically go away, for the paint to go away, deteriorate. Ask some questions. Let's hear it. What else do you want to know? Is it heavy? It's not that heavy. For maple wood, it's relatively lightweight. Okay. The weight is distributed evenly. Let me say that. And that's important for when you're actually trying to, again, roll out cookies or such. You know, I sound like Martha Stewart over here, which I'm not. But, you know, I'm not a bad cook. You can see the hips. I'm not a bad cook, but most of this is from eating out. Okay. Other questions? What else do you want to know? What else do you want to know about the rolling pin? It's Dr. Lori's treasure hunt. Did you find the treasure? Did you find the treasure? What do you think? Other questions? Okay, let's guess. What do you think? Guess those values. What do you think? Oh, let's see. We're going to guess those values. $100, $500, $30. Throw it in the trash. What do you think? What kind of wood is it? Joe Digger, honey, I said it was maple. He was too busy making money the way I taught him, right? With the jewelry. 125 from Jean. Liz thinks 35. Denise says 75. Kimberly says 95. Kimberly likes it. Lori says 75. Dee says 10. So Dee can get stuff really, really cheap and sell it for only 10. Dee's too low. Fluffy says 27.55. Okay, don't forget the 55. Sunny says 25. Because you think there are a lot of them out there. Michael wouldn't pay any more than 45, but if somebody gave you double that, would you take it, Michael? Answer that question for me. 110, Sharon. 110. Sharon thinks it's worth $110. Kathy says $28 because you might as well get a couple bucks over 25. Deanne says 75. Kathy says 28. Timothy says 55. Got some good guesses here. Good guesses. Good guesses. 90. Riri says 90. Riri has like an Andy Warhol kind of thing going in her little avatar. Rottweiler, 200. 200 is way too high. RJ, 75. Lori, here's Lori, 50. What do you think? What do you think? Sherry, Texas says 80. 45. Jay says 95. Tammy says 89.99, just under $90. 50. 45. What do we think? Did you see this area where there's a chip? 55, right there. 150. Would you rethink 150 now that you see the chip? Uh-oh, now you're like, Dr. Lori, really? It's in pretty good condition anyway, but there is that chip. Condition is to antiques, so location is to real estate. I've been saying it for years, decades even. 65, Mr. W. John. Alpine says 27. Sharon says $16.95. And what do we think it's worth? 30. Jean says 30. Here come the values. Down, down, down. Oh, man, under 45 with the big chip, 35. Michael's like, Michael is over this. Michael must not be a baker. Not really 100. Right, Rose is right, not 100. Okay, we're rethinking it. But that's what you do when you learn. You rethink it. 65 and mom says 75. Oh, you got to listen to your mother, right? Mom says 75. She likes it. She remembers. There's probably a memory there, right? 50 from Dolly. Dolly, I still didn't meet Dolly Parton. And I think I want to meet Bonnie Hunt, too. Do you remember Bonnie Hunt from Chicago? From Chicago. I want to meet her, too. List it for 69 and take 50. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. So we're doing a little bit of negotiation. We're ready to work with our buyer. It's always good to work with the buyer. 4576 shopper girl. Shopper girl. 4576. 70. You all came under 100. Did you notice? You're all coming under 100. 70. Lori had said 75. I saw a 40 there. Okay. Olga. Hi, Olga. 55. There's Olga. Last guess, 55. Lori says 55. Then Lori's going to be the last guess, and I'm going to tell you the value. It's worth $45. I love Bonnie Hunt, too. I think she's funny and talented. I think she's smart. She has a beautiful singing voice, and she can write all that stuff. She's quick on her feet. Like me, quick on your feet, right? You got to know it. You got to know it. When you know your field, you're quick on your feet. When you don't know what you're doing, then you try and do this and try and do that. Okay, so do you remember that on Saturday nights at 7, it's Ask Dr. Lori Live. I'll take your questions. Don't forget about super chats and super stickers. And did you get your loop? Did you get your loop? I hope you got your loop. A lot of you have been writing into me in of course, the comments telling me I love my loop. It's working so well. When you're looking at things like, of course, you're looking at pieces like this. This is what the loop will do for you if you're looking at jewelry. He just said, you're helping me to start my eBay jewelry business. Here you go. Look at this. This is what I'm going to teach you in an upcoming how to identify valuable costume and pearl jewelry without all those stupid tests where you're putting acid on things, right, and damaging them. He was just saying, you helped me start my business. I'm making money because of you, Dr. Lori. The loop will help you too. I call it the money magnet loop because it's really going to show you what actually is valuable. So I'm going to teach you in that video. I just shot a couple of those videos for you too, so you learn what it is. The group is great. The loop is great. It's a necessity. Thank you, Tom's daughter. That's right. I love my loop. Money and a time saver. Danielle, I'm so glad. That's why I went through. How do you get your loop? It's easy to get your loop. All you have to do is get your loop, go to the specials page at drloriv.com, specials. It's at the top. It says save now. It's in big red letters right at the top of the website. Go there. There's lots of ways to save there. And the other place I'm going to show you where to save, not only the specials page, but on the community tab. And speaking of the community tab, how about this piece? Wait a second. I'm going to move that because that is a rolling pin and it's rolling. You're asking me if it rolls, it's rolling. Dr. Lori's treasure hunt. Okay. How about this piece, this item? Can you all see it? I'm doing my big stretch. This is like my exercise for the day. Okay. Big stretches. I'm going to turn it a little bit so you can all see it. Ask me those questions. I'm going to show you the back. How about some questions on this item? Look forward to seeing you again in Tulsa. Oh, I love Tulsa. Although I fell off a golf cart at the convention center in Tulsa, and I call it my Tulsa knee, because now my left knee kind of clicks funny because of that falling off that. I was doing a 6:30 in the morning TV hit in Tulsa at the home show, and I was getting out of the little golf cart that they drive us around in. You know, all the celebrities have to go around. We each had a golf cart. So somebody's driving me, and I get out, and my foot gets caught, and I fall onto the concrete, and I have that click in my knee now. So I always think of Tulsa when my knee starts to hurt when it's raining. But that's okay. I love Tulsa. I had a great time. In the 918. Everything's great in the 918. Okay, Bama fam. Is it glass? No, it is not glass. It is not glass. It is not glass. What's it made of? Not glass. All right. Other questions. That's a good question. You need to know what questions to ask. You need to know what questions to ask. Okay. Lacquered on the back, huh? Is that black lacquer? Now, I don't know what questions to ask. I'm so happy you're all going right to the materials, because when you go to the materials, you are not holding on to that crutch of only looking for marks. Look for the materials. Learn about quality. Forget about the crutches of all these marks. Marks are fine, but they're not always there. And some of those things. Is it UV reactive? So Kurt wants to know, does it fluoresce like uranium glass? Nope. Doesn't. Glass or ceramic? Is it glass or is it ceramic? Is that lacquer or enamel? Good questions. These are all smart questions. What about date? How old do you think it is? What do you think it's used for? Is it melamine? It's not melamine. Not melamine. I always think of Rachel Ray when I think of melamine because she always has that big melamine bowl and she's always throwing all the waste in it, you know? What is it, a bowl? What do you think? What do you think it is? What are these for? Those little indentations. Does that help if I hold it like that? Is it a bowl? What's the indentations for? Plastic 1960s, not plastic. How about where was it made? If you tap it, what does it sound like? Okay. Oh, let me do it here. Do you hear it near my mic? Does that help? I doubt that helps. But, you know, you guys like tapping. That's like tinging the glass. Doesn't mean anything, but everybody does it. Okay. Where was it made? Okay. Where was it made? What other questions do you have? That question might have been, was it made in America? Was it made in Australia? Was it made in Africa? Wood, so that one was just said enamel, California, and then is it wood? Is it pottery? All right. Sounds like lucite, distractive activist. Is it bakelite? Nope. Made in Japan? Nope. Condition? Great. Kind of like me. Great condition. Okay. China. Was it made in China? Nope. Ah, have I narrowed it down for you some? Okay, guess the value. And you're thinking, I don't know that much, Dr. Lurie. I'm not really sure. Why? Why aren't you really sure? Because the information about this object is going to be on the community tab. Go to the community tab. Here's how you do it. Go to the community tab. You have to be a subscriber, so you must subscribe. Answers on the community tab. Everything you need to know about this object, which in fact is an object which I have seen priced very differently on the internet. Some people don't know what they're doing with it, and some people are way, way, way high with it. So this is a piece that you need to know about because it shows up. That's how I choose the ones for the community tab, the ones that are going to help you make some money. So the community tab, subscribe first and then go from there. It is not Danish. Rosemary thinks it's worth $199. Curoc, nope. It's copper enamel. It's been fired. Dolly thinks it's been fired. Jolene. I was thinking of Dolly Parton, sorry. Copper enamel been fired. Italian. Is it Italian? That's interesting. And that's the difference. Is it Italian style? Is it Spanish style? Is it made somewhere else? Lauren thinks $75. Where are you going to find out? The community tab. Be a subscriber to Dr. Lurie V, to the channel, and there you go. All right, that's what we see there. Some of you are going already and you'll be able to see it, but make sure everybody goes. Don't just post it and spoil the fun. Make sure everybody goes, right? Other questions for you. Here I am. It's live with Dr. Lurie. If you're watching the replay, really happy to be with you. Make sure that you watch. And if you have to rewatch some of the videos, a lot of you are telling me, Dr. Lurie, I got to watch it a couple times because you chock full so much information. Good. I want you to watch. I want you to learn it because there is a lot of information. Sometimes it just takes you a little bit of time to stop and look and really focus on the piece. That's fine. What's the big rush? So we want to make sure that you're learning this stuff. And with Dr. Lurie's treasure hunt game, I'm going to make sure you find the treasure. I'm going to make sure you find the treasure. Okay. Other questions? What else have we got? Other questions? Lots of fun here. Talking about, of course, travel, because a lot of us aren't able to travel. I'm the PhD Antiques Appraiser. Thanks so much for the super chat and the super stickers. You're showing me that you really love the games. The games are fun. Are you winning? How are you doing? Yeah, thanks for the super chats and the super stickers. It helps support the channel and help our staff to continue to make good, high quality, informative, and fun videos for all of you. A couple of other things. Don't forget, of course, to share, and the binge link will help you. So you can go to the binge link. It's in the description right here on, of course, YouTube in the description. And of course, you have to be on YouTube to be able to benefit. use the binge link. It really will be helpful. But have a lot of you been saying, oh gosh, I've been enjoying the games. How are you doing? Are you beating your husbands and the kids? Are you beating your wives and the kids? Who are you winning over these folks? What are you doing? What's happening? Is it going well for you? I want to know how you're doing in the game. What about the matryoshkas? The matryoshkas are right here. And I've talked about matryoshkas or Russian nesting dolls a couple of times in a couple of videos. You can find those videos on the binge link, and I'm talking about them again with souvenir shopping tips that I'm doing for thrifters as well. So the matryoshkas are really interesting. And I've been to St. Petersburg multiple times. I've been to Russia multiple times, and they're everywhere there. You walk there and they're everywhere, but the really high quality ones, and even in Alaska, because, Russia, of course, has that relationship so close with respect to Alaska. But basically, even in Alaska, you can find them. At what age did you know you loved art? Oh, Jay, you're so sweet to ask me that question. I knew I loved art relatively young. I wanted to be able to draw. I used to spend hours and hours. I can remember very, very clearly just drawing, trying to draw. I was terrible at it. I'm still terrible at it. I never really learned painting and drawing and such. But I always loved art, and I really loved the idea of beautiful objects. So I was always an object kid. I liked that. We didn't grow up with particular wealth, but my family was very much in, well, if you like it, I don't know anything about it, but we'll try to see if we can't get somebody to teach you what you like. So I did like art. I liked history. And I came to art from history. When I realized that paintings and sculptures and architectural elements and places and travel was something that I could experience, I thought art was really kind of cool because it related to people. So I think of art history as the study of the things that people made, because I think of history as the study of people, not just dates and wars and that kind of thing. I think of it as people and culture. So it's really opened the world to me. And I like to make connections, which is why I'm invited to lecture all over the world. So I've been very, very lucky, but it was young. I was pretty young. The other thing was I was the little kid around all the old people because my parents were older compared to my friends' parents, about even 15, 20 years older. My parents had me old, and all of their sisters and all of my aunts and uncles and everybody was old. So I was the youngest of that whole clan. So I was always around old people. So old stuff was common to me. It wasn't common to other people my age. So I liked history for that. And my father was totally, he was borderline. He was really a collector. He loved stuff. Borderline hoarder, but my mother was very, very neat. So she kept him in check. But thanks for that question. Lori, thank you so much. Oh, Lori, thank you for the thank you. It's like my birthday present, 100,000 subscribers. Thank you for that. That congratulations means a lot to me. That's a wonderful reason to, of course, do a super chat or a super sticker. Lori's a wonderful reason too. A lot of you, of course, have become my friends from afar. So it's wonderful. And thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, you're really supporting the channel when you're doing that. It's wonderful. It's better than giving me a gift for my birthday. A super chat or a super sticker for that would be great. Have you been to Seattle? I have been to Seattle twice, okay? Twice a year for the last 10 years, doing my appraisal tour in Seattle at the CenturyLink Center, right? And for years. I mean, last 10 years, twice a year, fall and spring. So I'll tell you what, you guys, Seattle knows me and knows me well. I've been on King 5. I, of course, have appeared with Margaret Larson on New Day Northwest. I've been in Seattle twice a year for the last 10 years. Where have you been if you're in Seattle? Come and see me the next time I'm in Seattle, but you can watch me here all the time. And of course, I've been all over the Midwest and all over the Southwest and such. Maureen, thank you so much. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. And thank you for being one of the 100,000 that know where the truth is, that know where the information is. Donnie shared on Facebook and told people to come and learn something. Thank you, Donnie. I appreciate that very much. I want you to share it everywhere. If you like Instagram or if you like the other social media channels, or if you're just talking wherever you are. Do I ever get to New Hampshire? I've been to New Hampshire many, many times. Nashua and other places, of course. I've been to New Hampshire. I grew up in New England. I've been to New Hampshire doing the show many times in New Hampshire. So yes, you can go through all the states. I have been to them all with the exception of 2 or 3. And I have taken my show there at one time or another in the last 20 years. Donate to Dr. Lori tonight. Let her get a little extra money. She deserves it for giving us free schooling. Thank you, Joe Digger. Where's your super chat? No, I'm kidding. He already did that, and I appreciate it. It's nice of you to say that. It's nice of you to support me. But basically, you're supporting the staff who does all the editing so we can continue to make videos. So really, you're helping to support the videos. Again, I appreciate you doing it. Austin, I love Austin. I stood there and I just looked at the Austin Library, the big library, the presidential library, of course, Johnson's library. And I love to see, of course, his limousine right there as you walk into the library. It was fun. And they let me in a little bit late because I was late. They were going to close and they let me walk around. So that was nice. When am I coming back to Venice? Oh, Marco, baby, I will be there. I am scheduled to come back to Italy. Yes, I love Italy very much. I love Amalfi, where my family is from. But I really do love Venice and Florence and Rome. And yes, I love Lake Como. I love to be in Italy. I do. I love most of the Med. I love to be in the Baltics. I really love traveling. When is the jewelry video coming out? Yoga Jennifer, it is coming out. It is coming out. There are many of them already at the binge link you can watch, but new ones are coming too because you've all been asking me about that. Bernard, thank you, Bernard. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of you just recognizing that the channel is helpful. That's why I did it. That's why I wanted to share this information. You know, I have a load of education. I want to share it with you. It is free schooling. Yes, I'll be back in California. I have a lot of people who are following in California, from San Diego to Coronado, all the way up, San Luis Obispo, all the way up to San Francisco. I was in Fresno and up in Sacramento. But yes, I'd like to be back there soon. I hope we can all be traveling again very, very soon, easily and safely too. But yeah, I'll be back everywhere. I can't wait. You have no idea. I cannot wait. And of course, my friends in Tampa, I was talking to, it's nice that you're talking to one another. I was talking to some folks in Tampa today. And of course, they see me every week on TV there. But it's always nice to talk with all of you. West Virginia, too. Back to Tulsa. I've been invited back to Tulsa many times, and I intend to get back to Oklahoma soon, too. I had a friend from Arkansas on a video call today, and it was nice to talk to Arkansas. And I said, you sound just like my friend from Texas. She said, well, it's kind of close. So I got a little geography lesson, too. That was funny. But Montana, yeah, I miss places like Big Sky Country. And all over the world. I was talking to a video caller in the Netherlands and also, of course, Australia. Another video caller was nice enough to get up very, very early from Australia to actually talk to me. So we had a lot of fun. Anyway, one more for the game. What do you think? Let's play one more for the game. So Dr. Lori's Treasure Hunt, I'm going to try not to hurt myself with this next piece because it's kind of dangerous. Here it is. And if you can't see what it is, you got to give me a second. Before you start going, Dr. Lori, I can't see it. Okay, here we go. This is the box that it comes in. I'm going to do that. Show you that. Can you see the box that it comes in? That's the box. And it has this little piece of plastic that goes on top, which you can see when plastic starts to deteriorate, gets this brownish color. Okay, that's from the cardboard box. So the box is off-gassing. So this is a tip. When you're looking at that, you're looking at plastic, you're seeing it's taking on the color of the off-gassing, right, cardboard, because cardboard will off-gas, which is why I don't want you to store anything in cardboard. Bernard, is this marked anywhere? No, the actual object, no, wait a minute, I gotta get my loupe. Maybe it is marked, hold on. Yes, it is marked. It says Mill Site 100T Series Floater. Mill Site 100T Series Floater. Do you see it? And do you see what I'm trying not to hold on to? Because I'm going to hurt myself. Wait, I'm going to hold it like this. Can you see it now? It is made of wood. It's a lure. It is a lure, Janice. That's right. See his little eyes? The idea is trying to convince the fish that this is something that they want to eat. I'll hold it this way. There it is. Look at how good my staff is. There's what you're doing the super chats and the super stickers for. You're doing it right there for that. I didn't make that. They made that. So that's how they're helping. So this is what you've got. You've got a lure. It says on the bottom right here underneath that hook that I'm trying not to see. I'm caught. See this? I'm caught. Okay. What I do for you people. Here we go. Right. It says Mill Site, which is the NAM brand, right? Then it says lure, right? Is it enamel or cloison? It's not cloison. It's got nice eyes. I like the eyes. Look at the eyes. Dr. Lori, have you energetically felt the history of an item? Have you ever energetically felt the history of an item? Oh, you mean like I can just feel it? I have a lot of I do get sort of a sense of an object. I have had feelings in certain homes. I've walked into rooms that have been, closed up for a long time with antiques in them and felt feelings of, oh my gosh, something bad happened here. I've had that feeling in my years as an appraiser. Don't forget my tetanus shot. I should tell you this story. I go in to my doctor. I'll get back to the other story in a minute. But yes, I've had those kinds of feelings. Thank you, by the way, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Tetanus shot. I go into my doctor and I said, I need a tetanus shot. And they said, no, you don't. You don't need a tetanus shot. I said, I need a tetanus shot. And they said, oh, why? And I said, well, I'm an appraiser. I said, and I put my hand through a wire on a painting. And they look at me and go, oh, yeah, you're Dr. Lori. I'm like, yeah. They didn't want to give me a tetanus shot. But then they did, because I was like, you got to give me a tetanus shot. I guess they look, because maybe you can't have a tetanus shot for a certain time. You guys are the medical people. Tell me, what's the deal with the tetanus shots? Maybe you can't have them too close together. Anyway, I did get a tetanus shot. So thank you for that. But see, this is like me taking risks for you guys. So here you go. Dr. Lori's treasure hunt game. Come on. Dr. Lori's psychic appraising. You probably know that I do psychic appraising with my friend Rob Mangino in Pittsburgh on, of course, his national radio show. And we came up with that one night. It was very, very late when people were calling in and I was saying, they're saying, I have this dish. And I say, does your dish look like this? Does your dish look like that? And they go, yes, yes, it does. Does your dish have this mark on it or that mark on it? Yes, yes, Dr. Lori, how'd you know? It's a radio show. I can't see anything, right? And so, the guy who runs the radio show, the host, his name is Rob Mangino. He's known as Mangino. He's known all over the country. He's been doing a national show for years. And he says, Dr. Lori, this is like psychic appraising. I said, yes, it is. So because I've seen so many pieces, I know what it should look like. So it's like when I'm doing a Beanie Baby appraisal, I'll say, oh, you have Valentino? Well, it should have PVC pellets. It should be from 1993. It should be made in China. There should be this particular error, blah, blah, blah. And people go, how do you know? It's like, I've seen everything many times. Speaking of which, here you go. Do you know I was the kid who used to had to get up with her father to go fishing? My two sisters didn't want to go fishing at 4 a.m. Oh, Lori, honey, will you come fishing with Daddy? Yes, I'll go fishing with Daddy. And I used to go, but I used to get some fish. I was pretty good at fishing as a little kid. So anyway, but yes, I was the person who went fishing all the time. Is it hand painted? This is not hand painted. This particular piece is actually a piece that is not hand painted, although some fishing lures from the early 1900s are in fact hand carved and hand painted. This one is not. Now that statement was just an indication about age. Did you catch it or did you miss it? What I just said should have taught you something about the age of this piece. What other questions have you got for me? Do you know what to ask? It is not balsa wood. No. It is a fishing lure. It is not balsa wood. You want me to tap it? It's not hand painted, Janice. Not hand painted. Pieces that are earlier than this one are hand painted. What would the next question be? What era? Thank you, Kate. What era? Circa 1950, circa 1960 for this one. The mill site. And notice inside, there's an advertising information inside. When's the great age of advertising? Have you been watching Mad Men? The great age of advertising, the 1960s. Even a little of this. Does it look like it's been used? Yes, it has been used. Yes, it has been used. It looks like it's been used. It looks like it was in water. It looks like it came out. It looks like it has some residue, right? The other question might be, what type of fish is it for, right? Muskies, pike, bass, pickerel, trout, and saltwater fish. So now, a lure for saltwater fish is going to be in different condition than a lure for freshwater fish. Right? My family, I was fishing with my father on one vacation, Lake Winnipesaukee, New Hampshire, as a matter of fact. And let me tell you, I missed a bass that I had to hear about for like the next 10 years. Favorite memory ever is fishing with my daddy. Tiffany, I'm with you, baby. I'm with you. Fishing with daddy. That's right. That's right. Get on the waders and go out and get the worms, the whole thing. Super chats and super stickers. Thank you for supporting the channel. How good a thrifter are you? What other questions do you want to ask? Is it hollow? No, it's solid, which means it's probably poured into a mold when they mass produce it in the age of Mad Men. Come on, I'm giving this to you. This is easy now. This should be easy. I'm giving you lots of hints. Do you know what to ask? And you should do this when you're at the estate sale, at the flea market, at the antique show. Ask those questions in your head. Is it this? Is it that? Dr. Lori would want me to look at this. Dr. Lori would want me to look at that. She'd want me to have the loop. She'd want me to use the diamond tester. She'd want me to get the information that's going to be key to understanding quality. I have the original packaging. Oh, that would be good. Okay. All right. Time for you to guess. Guess those values. What do you think it's worth? What do you think it's worth? Time to guess the values. Here we go. What do we think? What do we think? What do we think? What do we think? I've been pulling up these sleeves all day. I don't know why. Hazel says $1? The memory's worth more than $1, Hazel. Come on. Kimberly, 20. 30. Diane says 50. Tracy says 35. Vintage Vagabond Vens, 25. Sing to me soprano. Jackie Keegan, 60. I appraised a fantastic early 20th century Italian soprano opera piece today. It was really pretty cool. Okay, all right. Let's see, what else? 65 or 32.50. Come on, Flutter, you got to pick, honey. Connie says 60. Joe Ellen, mwah, mwah, mwah. Big kisses to Joe Ellen. Joe Ellen says 45. Chris says 40. Denise says 45. I might start calling you Denise. Tiffany says $640. No. Dr. Lori's priceless. Joke digger, I love you, kid. You're funny. You're funny. I'm glad you're doing well. That's what I like to hear. I like to hear success. You can do this. You can do this. You can do this. You can do this. Terry Ann, 12 at the auction, 50 for resale. Okay, well, now you're talking auction value versus retail value. I'm talking about retail value. Okay, so you're saying 50 for resale. Okay, what else? 640 buggins. Tiffany, you're so funny. Tiffany's funny. 29. Mary says 29. 29. My age. I want a diamond tester. Okay, here's the diamond tester. It's right here. Where do you get it? The specials page. drloriv.com/specials. Go to that page. It says save now at the top of the website and click on it and scroll down, and you're going to be able to get the diamond tester and the loop if you want it. You also can find Dr. Lori merchandise there under shopping, right? So you can go there and you can look under shopping, or you can look at right here. You can look actually on YouTube, my mistake, on YouTube for the Dr. Lori mug, right? With my cute little face on it. And also, of course, the t-shirts, which I know that Lori Disney loves. And a lot of you love them. And you can get thank you, Lori. And you can get those through, of course, teespring.com too. But they're right here. They're easy to get. And they support the channel just like the super chats and the super stickers. So, all right, $80. $80 on the fishing lure. Janice is like, let's get back to what we were doing. I'm sorry. This is Dr. Lori's treasure hunt. Back to what we were doing. Don't forget about the binge link. 45. Levon says 35. Janice says 80. 80. 195. Hazel, you're either really low or really high. You'd be over if you were playing the prices right. Okay. 195, too high. A mug with your mug on it. Yeah, Jane, that's right. I didn't think of that. That's a good one. I'll use that later. Watch, Jane. It will hook a mate. Oh, I don't want a mate, honey. I'm happy single, please. Wilma, 95. Sharon, 44. Rodrigo, 31. Anissa, 100. Cindy says 129. Liz says 55. Donnie says 65. Firm. Donnie's firm. Okay, firm. 20. Do you like the game? I want to hear that you like the game or not. Or are you just like, but I hope you like Dr. Lori's treasure hunt. I want you to be able to hunt for the treasures. What's the piece worth? $45. It is mid-century modern 1960s fishing lure. Of course, it's a mill site lure. It's a floater, which means it's going to float. And then you're going to, of course, pull it down with you on, of course, your line. So all my values are based on actual sales records where similar pieces have sold. Don't forget that, too. And don't forget to be right here with me for all of our, I'm glad you love the game. Aurora loves the game, loves the game. I love to play the games, too. The games are a lot of fun. You guys are a lot of fun. I appreciate you joining me, too. So much fun. So don't forget that you can learn Dr. Lori's Treasure Hunt game. Use the binge link. Don't forget to subscribe. Be proud that you're part of 100,000 subscribers to this channel. The channel is going to help you to be a good thrifter, make some money, flip those pieces. Find stuff that's just for you, beautiful in your home at bargain prices. I want to teach you how to learn all of this stuff with my PhD in art history and architectural history and all of my years in major museums and my books and all the stuff that was going to make you a couple extra bucks and make you have some fun learning about art, antiques, history, and culture. I'm Dr. Lori, the PhD Antiques Appraiser. I'll see you next time. Don't forget Saturday night live at 7 right here on the channel. I love to see you live. If you're watching the replay, thanks for watching. Don't forget to share the channel. Bye.